Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collegeville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked I be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collegeville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collegeville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple. Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chief and crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, all the fresh sophomores,
High school, champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Belleville West High School. It is softball playoff time, Class 3A regional semifinal, as your Collinsville K-Hawks get ready to take on the Lady Lancers of Belleville East. And my name is Todd Duke. We welcome you into the pregame show brought to you today by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, and great service, all served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street in Caseyville is where you will find them. You can give them a call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007. Well, the K-Hawks come into this contest with a record of the regular season of 8-18. They finished 4-8 in Southwestern Conference play, and that was good enough for 5th place. Under their first-year head coach, Amy Flowers, Belleville East, they come in at 24-8. They finished 11-1 on the year in the Southwestern Conference, and they once again had to share the Southwestern Conference title with Edwardsville High School. That is the 5th straight year that Edwardsville and Belleville East have both gone 11-1 in conference play and had to share the conference title. Just to round out the other couple ahead of Collinsville, O'Fallon finished 7-5 and so did Belleville West. So Collinsville finished in fifth place with that 4-8 record. Natalie Peters is the head coach of Belleville East. She is into her 18th year and has a robust winning record of 484 wins and 190 losses. The Lady Kahok softball program had one of the strangest years in recent history when it comes to getting their games in according to what was scheduled. Collinsville only got to play 6 games this season at the CBSL Sports Complex there in Collinsville due to a very, very wet spring. And us here at the Kahok Sports Network only managed to get in 3 softball games this year. Because of that, we got the home opener in. We did a game at Edwardsville, and then we did a game just last week at O'Fallon due to all of those lost home games. Under first-year head coach Amy Flowers, Lady Kahoks did see an improvement of their overall record, going 8-18 on the season, which was 2 games on the win side better than the 6 wins seasons of last year and 2023. The last season that Kahok softball finished above the 500 mark was the 2018 season under Brett Swip, who is the current Kahok baseball head coach. We'll see him tomorrow. That year, Collinsville finished with a 23-14 record. Collinsville has not won a regional championship since going 25-11 under Cindy Kolda all the way back in 2011. That year, Collinsville beat Alton 5-0 in the regional semifinal. Then they beat Edwardsville 3-2 in the regional championship game before losing the sectional semifinal 7-2 to O'Fallon. Collinsville had a couple of modest win streaks on the season, a 3-gamer in early mid-April with wins over East St. Louis, Alton, and Breeze Central, and then they had a 2-game streak earlier this month over Alton and Althoff. Collinsville went 2-2 in their last 4 games, a 16-0 win at Cahokia, a 14-1 loss at Granite City. That was one of those home games that got moved to Granite City. 21-8 at East St. Louis, and they ended the season, the Kahoks did, with a 10-0 loss at the CBSL complex to Edwardsville. And Collinsville went 0-2 versus Belleville East this year, 18-0 on April 17th and 15-0 on May the 13th. Well, Belleville East turned in another typical Lady Lancers softball season with their 24-8 record. You have to go all the way back to 1984 to find a Belleville East softball team that finished below the 500 mark. That season, under Hall of Famer Rita Menke, the Lady Lancers finished 11-12. That followed a 6-16 season in 1983. That was Menke's second year as head coach. But Menke went on to guide Belleville East to 3 softball state championships, plus a 4th-place finish at state in her 24 years. Current head coach Natalie Peters took over for Menke in 2006 and got her team to state in her very first season before being knocked out in the quarterfinals that year. Peters has not gotten her team back to state since, but she has not suffered through a losing season in her 18 years. The closest to that was an 18-17 record in 2019. Under Peters, 11-time regional champions, including the last 4 years straight, 3 sectional championships, and this year, after a 3-3 start, Belleville East won 6 straight games before suffering their lone Southwestern Conference loss, an 8-7 9-inning loss at Edwardsville, and then a 2-1 loss at Mater Dei, and then that was 24 hours later, by the way. Following those 2 losses, how about a 15-game win streak that came after that, and Belleville East comes into this game, though, on a 3-game winless streak that followed that 15th win. They had an 11-0 loss at Glenwood Friday, followed by back-to-back losses at Moline Saturday afternoon, 3-1 to East Moline United and 6-4 to Moline Public School. Had a chance just a little while ago to catch up with Collinsville head coach Amy Flowers. We will pass that conversation on to you next as the LC's Pub pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice. Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rippin' Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Rippin' Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Rippin' Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Rippin' Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@rippinrookies.com. Rippin' Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rippin' Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all Collinsville area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with former Kahok Logan Carlisle, his dad Tim Anzius, play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event or to call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. Looking for someone to help get your house in tip-top shape? Look no further than former Kahok Kara Gray with Clean Living Cleaning Services. From bathrooms to kitchens to garages to bedrooms and even commercial spaces, Clean Living is your place to go. Clean Living guarantees expert-level work done by expert-level cleaners. No matter how much grit, how much grime, let Clean Living shine. For more information, check out the Clean Living Cleaning Services on Facebook or call 618-979-9634. A clean space is a happy place. Clean Living Cleaning Services, 618-979-9634. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville presents the Sports Page Lounge. Come check out Collinsville's newest destination for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge features a 14-foot 9-screen video wall with games across the spectrum, from college football and basketball to the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Pair that with tastefully crafted libations from the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and you have the perfect atmosphere for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge, next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery at 115 Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 618-855-8027 for more information. The Sports Page Lounge, a new experience for sports lovers in Collinsville.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We are back at Belleville West after girls soccer here last week. Well, not exactly here, over there across the way. We are back for some softball as your Collinsville Cahoks get ready to take on the Belleville East Lady Lancers. Class 4A Regional Semi-Final. And joining us now is Amy Flowers, first-year head coach for Kahok softball. All right, Coach, so first regular season under your belt. Was it everything you thought it was going to be?
Oh, and more. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. To be honest, it was a lot of fun. We worked real hard and came out with a few more wins than we did last year. So that was pretty much the big goal for the season. So that was nice.
All right, so Mother Nature kind of did you all dirty, though, this year, didn't she?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, she doesn't like us.
All right, so and your team, you dealt with it very fine because, as you mentioned, you got the 8 wins this year when you got 6 last year and 6 the previous year. So how difficult was it maneuvering around all that? You get up for a game because you think it's a home game, and then you find out, oh, man, we got to move to Granite City. Oh, man, we got to move to Belleville East. So that's probably a little tough, but you guys seem to have weathered the storm, no pun intended.
Yeah, luckily we have some very flexible girls and coaches, and Coach Clay Smith has just been phenomenal with helping us out and finding places for us to play and making sure that we're prepared and ready for it. So.
All right, so what did you learn about yourself as a head coach through this first year?
That, softball from, this side of it is a little more difficult than I thought it was. It's more analytical, I guess, and I'm definitely going to expand on that next year.
All right, what did you learn about your team through this whole year?
They are very flexible kids. They are very go with the flow, and they kind of take the punches as they come while keeping a pretty positive attitude.
All right, so let's go back and talk about you and your playing days a little bit. You played for Collinsville, so you are familiar with the Belleville East versus Collinsville in the world of softball. And unfortunately, they've kind of owned us over the years. So reflect for me, if you will, about what you remember about playing Belleville East back when you were going to school.
Well, Rita Mankey was a coach, as everybody knows, and she was just a juggernaut back then. She still is, let's be honest. But she always had them ready. They were always ready. They played a very similar style today that they did back then, and it was a lot of bunting and being aggressive on the bases and sound fundamental defense and that. And so we got to be ready for that today.
All right, so we talked about the 8-win season, an improvement over the 6 from the previous couple of years. Testament to your team just for that right there alone, right?
Absolutely, yeah. They have come out and really worked hard, and that was one of the major goals that we had, is to make sure we get more wins than previous years and just try to build upon success. So we feel like we're doing that.
All right, well, speaking of the building, you're only losing 3 seniors this year. You have 4 juniors that are going to be senior leaders next season, and the 8th grade middle school team turned in a pretty good year over at CMS. So the future's looking really good for you and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the girls are going to be seniors next year. I think have really taken steps into more leadership roles, and then I'm really excited about this 8th grade group. There's some pretty good ball players down there, a couple pitchers in particular, and some good just all around players. So they're going to be very strong. So I'm very excited about that.
All right, you have Belleville East today. You're no stranger with them. You have played them twice earlier this year. So what can you take away from those 2 games? What worries you about Belleville East?
Well, their pitcher's very good. Olivia Hemmerly, she is known for just hitting spots. Like, she's very in control and command of her pitches. So she's going to be a big challenge. And then just making sure that we can play our good, clean game that, makes us more competitive.
All right, so what do you want to see out of your girls out there today?
Just go out there. We're going to be real aggressive, because she likes to try to get ahead with strike one, be real aggressive early in our at-bats, and then we're going to focus in on, like I said, playing sound fundamental defense.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
That is Amy Flowers, first-year head coach for your Kahok softball team. We'll take a break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw the starting rosters of both teams your way and some stats as well. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food, like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Belleville West High School. Todd Duke and Zach Roseman is here. We'll hear from Zach in just a moment. Looks like we're going to get started a little earlier than the 4:30 scheduled time. So here are your starters. We'll begin with Collinsville. They are the visitors here today. They will lead things off with Presley Thomas. She'll bat first and play shortstop. Allie Vieluff will bat second and be doing the pitching today for Collinsville. Lily Parlberg is in left field batting third. Keegan Edwards is in the cleanup spot. She'll be playing first base. Batting fifth is Carson Mode, who holds down the duties at the hot corner at third base. Batting sixth is Jazz Gomez. She'll be playing center field. Lacey Vieluff will be playing second base and batting seventh. Batting eighth is Brittany Sargentson. She'll be playing right field and behind the plate. And batting ninth is Peyton Lucenhide. For Belleville East, when they come up to the plate, they'll lead things off with Abby Monroe. She'll be playing center field, batting first. Olivia Hemmerly will be the pitcher. She'll be batting second. Zoe Peters catching, batting third. Addie Kramkowski batting fourth and playing shortstop. Ella Murphy at second base batting fifth. Sierra Jones at third base batting sixth. Kaylee Nichols is the designated player batting seventh. Reese Brueggemann is playing left field and batting eighth. And Ari Kohler is playing right field and batting ninth. And we are underway. First pitch at 4:22. Zach Roseman, what's up?
What's up, Todd? It's nice to be here for some playoff softball as Presley Thomas finds herself ahead 2-0 here, and something that Coach Flowers talked about in the interview was Hemmerly liking to get ahead early, is that it's flared softly.
That's going to go over the head of Kohler out there, and Thomas is on her way to second. She's going to try for third, and she's going to be in there standing up. How about a stand-up triple to start the game off with?
Yeah, that's pretty much the ideal start, you know. Collinsville have yet to score a run in the two games with Belleville East. Obviously, Coach Flowers talked about it in the interview. This is a program that's had a lot of success, and we'll see what Collinsville are able to do. Haven't beaten East since 2019, if I remember correctly. So been a few years, and it would certainly be nice if the Kahoks are able to pull off a what I think would be fairly considered an upset, as Allie Vila finds herself in an 0-2 hole.
That was the first triple of the year for Presley Thomas. She came in batting .303, had a double. That was her only extra base hit, and came in with 9 runs batted in. Here is Allie Vila batting .217 on the year, and she strikes out looking at the called third strike. She has 1 home run, does Vila, and she has 8 runs batted in, but she becomes the first out of this game. And here is Lily Parlberg. Parlberg batting .339 on the year with 10 runs batted in. She has 3 doubles to her credit as her only extra base hits, as she swings and misses at the first offering from Olivia Hemmerly. We'll give you Hemmerly's numbers here in just a second, right after this first pitch. And they're kind of gaudy as that one goes inside. Olivia's making her 28th appearance. This is her 27th start. She has 22 complete games. And her strikeout to walks, how about 21 strikeouts? Or excuse me, she's 21-4. 237 strikeouts and 37 walks on the year.
Yeah, those
pretty
are
impressive.
Pretty impressive numbers. ERA down under right in the 1.5 range. So certainly plenty of talent there. She's picked up 1 more to that total already, striking out Vieluff and looking to get the K here on Parlberg. 2-2 the count against Parlberg, and here is the pitch and a swing and a miss, and Parlberg goes down swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Hemmerly. And here comes Keegan Edwards. Edwards on the year is batting in .250 with 6 runs batted in. She did miss a little bit of time earlier in the year, and she's going to get a little encouragement or advice from first base coach.
And we will give you the defensive lineup here for Belleville East after this first pitch to Edwards, depending on what she does with it. And here is that first pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. All right, in the outfield, Reese Brueggemann is in left, Abby Monroe in center, Ari Kohler is in right field, Sierra Jones is at third base, Addie Kramkowski at shortstop, Ella Murphy at second, and Malia Brewer is at first base, and Olivia Hemmerly is pitching to Zoe Peters behind the plate. And an 0-2 count real quick to Keegan Edwards. A leadoff triple, and staying right there until this. A ground ball to the shortstop. Kramkowski's up with it, and in time for the out. So a leadoff triple, and that runner ends up being stranded. We now go to the bottom half of the first inning, and we'll get our first look at Belleville East when we come back from a commercial break here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Belleville West. 3A regional semifinal here between Collinsville and Belleville East. We gave you the Belleville East lineup. How about the Collinsville defense? Lily Parlberg playing left field. In center field is Jazz Gomez. Brittany Sargentson is in right field. Carson Mode at third base. And around the infield we go to Presley Thomas at shortstop. Lacey Vieluff is at second base. Keegan Edwards is at first base. Allie Vieluff is in the circle. And Peyton Lucenhide is doing the catching today. The numbers on Vieluff for the year in the circle, 22 games played in. She is making her 10th start on the year. She does have 5 complete games. She is 3-5 on the year with a 10.99 earned run average and 72 walks to 100 and no, I got that backwards, right? 72 strikeouts to 101 walks on the year. And the first person she will face is Abby Monroe, who is the leading hitter for Belleville East. She starts off first pitch swinging and gets a single right up the middle. Came in batting .563 with 38 runs batted in and 2 home runs, and somehow or another she stretches that single into a double.
Yeah, she throw from Gomez got over the head of Thomas, and Monroe, utilizing the speed, able to move up quickly to second base, so we'll call that a single.
Single and an error.
Single and an error, or single and advancing on the throw.
And here is Olivia Hemmerly, the pitcher. That one goes over the head of Lucenhide, and on her way to third base on a wild pitch is Monroe. So just like Collinsville, Belleville East has their first batter on over at third base with no one out. And Hemmerly up to the plate, .490 on the year with 13 runs batted in for the Belleville East pitcher. That one's outside, just ticks off of the glove there of Lucenhide, but not far enough for anyone to move.
Yeah, freshman catcher, normal starter Bailey Demick out of the lineup today. So, yeah, definitely a big responsibility being passed on to the freshman here.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. Next pitch, Vieluff outside.
Actually called strike.
Okay.
2-1.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Peters waits on deck, the catcher for Belleville East. Vieluff is on the move, and that one was in pretty much the same spot as the last one, but this one is called a ball. In case you're not familiar with softball, 200 feet all the way around the outfield fences, so there is no looking for signs. We all know what the deal is, and that one is a
ball 4.
Ball 4.
Yep.
Thought I might have heard him say strike, but then she dropped it anyway. And so the first two have made it on. Runners on the corners. And here is Zoe Peters. Peters batting .398 on the year with 1 home run, 38 runs batted in. And Belleville East has runners on first and third with no one out. And the catcher, Zoe Peters, in from the right side. And the pitch from Vila. She turns around to bunt, takes the strike right down the middle, and that one pops out of the glove of Lucenhyde again. I know she's a freshman, but, man, you gotta hold on to these pitches, or one of them is going to get a little farther away from you than what they have been.
Yeah. Hemmerly able to move up to second. Without a throw. It'll be 0-1 now to Peters.
And Vila in the circle, ready to go back to work. Here's the pitch, and that one stays a little bit high. That'll even things out at 1-1. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. Belleville East looking to strike first here. And the next pitch from Vila on the way. Swinging a pop-up. That one's going to stay foul. Just about in between the right fielder and the first base bag. And I think Keegan Edwards lost that one in the sun because she was twisting around trying to find it. If she could have gotten that one off the bat, she might have had an opportunity to catch that one in foul territory because it landed about 2 feet foul.
Yeah, no harm in letting it drop, though.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah.
See if Allie's able to pick up the strikeout here.
That one's inside. That'll even the count at 2-2. Monroe. 15 stolen bases on the year, 2 caught. And over at second base is Hemmerly, who has 14 stolen bases and has not been caught. Not that anybody's going to be doing any stealing from second and third, but just figured I'd throw those out there since they're on base, and that foul ball goes back behind the Lancers' dugout.
And we have a time called as Coach Angela Johnson will come out for a circle visit. And she saw something that she wanted a bit of a correction here, as she'll bring the whole infield in. Kahok's out there in their road purple uniforms today. White numbers, white pants, dark purple socks. Lancers out there in the white uniforms, navy blue lettering and numbers, some of that light blue trim, navy blue pants.
We got the sky blue as their primary color, but on these uniforms, it's mostly the navy blue and the white. Collinsville's out there in the white visors. The only sport besides golf I've seen players wear visors.
Yeah, as far as I can think, yeah.
And we are ready to go after a conversation in the circle between the infield, the pitcher, and the catcher for Collinsville. And Vila is ready to go back to work. Here's the 2-2. That one's high and outside, full count.
First base is open, but I'm sure you want to try and get the strikeout if you can.
Oh, yeah. Addie Kramkowski is on deck. We will probably see her brother play tomorrow in the baseball game that we're doing at O'Fallon for a semifinal there.
Probable starting pitcher, although, of course, could change things up. But I would think that we'll see Tommy as the starting pitcher tomorrow, as that pitch misses inside and
gets away, and a run scores, and Belleville East is on the board. So back-to-back walks and a wild pitch. We'll put runners on the corners. And here is Addie Kramkowski. Kramkowski on the year, batting .438, 29 runs batted in on the season. Leader in that category is Zoe Peters with 38.
Abby Brewer in as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Brewer, a sophomore.
Kramkowski in from the right side. Vila looks over to the dugout, has the sign for her pitch, and here it comes. Stays high. And Herner goes from first to second with no throw. And that'll put runners at second and third once again with no one out. Vila ready to go, and that one goes behind the batter, pops right back over to Lucenhyde, and almost caught Peters there off second base. She was about halfway down to third and had to go back.
Yeah, not a little bit of a lucky break off the padding that they've got here. Bounce right to Peyton.
There's the 2-0. Swinging a pop fly into foul territory once again. No one's going to get there once again, and it's just a strike. 2-1. It was cloudy, gloomy, and a bit chilly once again today. Had to break out the sweatshirt, but then all of a sudden the sun popped out, and I had to ditch the sweatshirt. Got a little hot up here in the press box. Next pitch on the way from Vila, swing and a miss, and a 2-2 count now to Kramkowski. Ella Murphy, the second baseman, waits on deck.
Vila's always had pretty good velocity. The trick is just control's just been her primary bugaboo so far in her career. That ball is
that's going to go down the line, and that one is going to be fair.
All right.
And it goes all the way down, rattles around in the corner over by the dugout, and that is going to score 2 runs. And coming around for an inside the park home run is Addie Kramkowski, and everybody scores, and it is 4-0 in favor of Belleville East.
I got a solid contact on it, able to get it out there past Sargentson, and Belleville East team with plenty of speed, and Kramkowski able to make it all the way around.
That is the second hit of the inning to go along with the 2 walks. And here is Ella Murphy facing Vila for the first time. Fouls one back toward the screen. Never did quite make it there, but it was not close enough for Lucenhide to get a hold of. And Ella Murphy on the year, batting .273 with 20 runs batted in, but she bats with the bases empty now after the inside the park home run by Addie Kramkowski. That's a called strike, and that'll even things out, or excuse me, a ball. That's even things out at 1-1. Murphy awaits the next from Vila. If it's on the way, swinging a high fly ball. This one's going to be in no man's land, and it'll land right in front of Sargentson, then take a little bit of a turn to the left, and making her way all the way over to third on that play is Ella Murphy.
Score that single in an air or double in an air?
Well, there's nothing she could do about the way it bounced, so I'm just going to go ahead and give her a triple.
Fair enough.
She never touched it. It just took one of those bounces. She had it right in front of her, and then it bounced to her left toward the first base line, and nothing she could do about it from there except chase it down. Here is Sierra Jones, the lefty. Jones batting .379 on the year with 13 runs batted in, and she's got a 14th run batted in just 60 feet away. As she takes one outside for ball 1. Kaylee Nichols, the designated player who is batting for Malia Brewer, the first baseman, waits on deck, and that one goes well outside as well.
Nice stretch there from Lucenhide, able to keep that one in front of her.
Clay Smith and Joe Munez, the respective athletic directors for West and Collinsville, down the third base line on the other side of the fence, hanging out, talking. Four to nothing in favor of the Lady Lancers, and there's still nobody out here in this first inning. Here's the next pitch to Jones. That one is on the outside corner for a called strike. 3-1 the count to Sierra Jones. Vila rocks and throws. An attempted butt there by Jones, and now a full count to the Lancers' third baseman. Vila ready with the next offering. Here's the payoff pitch, and she swung at it but fouled it off, and Jones stays alive. Jones digs back in from the left side. Turf infield, grass outfield here at Belleville West. Next pitch, there's a grounder right to Presley Thomas, but her throw is not in time, and Murphy will come in to score.
Just an infield single.
Yeah.
Designated player number 21, Kaylee Nichols.
Thomas fielded it cleanly, but Jones with a good amount of speed, able to make her way the 60 feet down first, and that'll stretch the lead out to 5-0.
Here's the designated player, Nichols. There's the runner going, and the throw is not going to be in time. It'll go to the outfield, but Jones can't go anywhere on a nice backup play there by Jazz Gomez. Second stolen base of the inning for Belleville East. Kaylee Nichols batting .444 on the year with 9 runs batted in. She has a runner in scoring position now. And here's the pitch. That one's inside and kind of rattles around, right around the feet of Loosenhide, and runner goes down to third on that play. Nichols awaits the 2-0. Here it is. Another chance here for Thomas. She scoops, fires, and throws in time for the out. Sierra Jones comes across to score, but Collinsville gets an out of it.
6-3
And
on
it
the
is
put
now 6-0
Number 43, Reese Brigham.
in favor of Belleville East. Here is Reese Brigham. Brigham batting .294 on the year, 13 runs batted in. Bases now empty once again. And the pitch by Viliff, it
Low.
looked like he was about ready to raise that right arm up, but thought better of it and took it back down, called it a ball. Viliff pitches again. That one's a called strike on the outside corner. Pretty much in the same spot, just got it elevated a bit. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the left fielder, Reese Brueggemann, for the Lancers, and that one stays high. 2-1. Ari Kohler on deck, and since there's only 1 out and no 1 on, she will get a chance to bat, and that'll be the 9th batter for Belleville East here in this first inning. That one gets outside. 3-1 now the count to Brueggemann. Viliff's already walked a couple in this inning, doesn't want to do it again. And Viliff rocks and throws. And that one hits the plate. Goes back to the fence, so it is a walk. And another runner on at first base here for Belleville East. And that's an opportunity for Ari Kohler to come to the plate. Ari Kohler on the year batting .358 with 8 runs batted in. And Brueggemann, in case you were wondering, 6 stolen bases, and she's been caught once. Viliff ready to go to the lefty Kohler, and that one's a bit low and outside. And Viliff ready to go back to work again. Here's the next pitch, and that one's a bit too far outside. 2-1 the count. Collinsville versus Belleville East all over the place. And a swing and a chopper to the second baseman, Viliff. That is Lacey, and she throws out Kohler for out number 2.
Brueggemann able to advance up to second, but
Number 1, Abby Monroe.
so productive out, and that'll flip the lineup over for Monroe, who tripled and scored.
Well, she singled and then went to third on a error, and there's the throw, and in there safely is Brueggemann. Throw was there in time, but then Moth had to kind of sweep around to tag, and by that time, Brueggemann was already underneath the tag. So a runner at third base now for Abby Monroe, and that one goes a little bit outside. Collinsville and Belleville East here today. Collinsville and Belleville East at Belleville East boys volleyball that gets underway here in about 45 minutes. And then Collinsville against Belleville East tomorrow in baseball at O'Fallon. So these two schools playing 3 games in 2 days, 3 different sports.
Yeah, very familiar with each other, of course. Southwestern Conference schools located about 11 miles apart as Monroe draws the walk and will reach base for the second time this inning. That'll put runners at the corners for Hemmerly once again.
4th walk issued in the inning by Viliff. She's given up 4 hits, 6 runs, a couple of stolen bases by Lancers, and there's a chopper that's going to go to the shortstop Thomas again, and she'll just hold on to it. Kind of fumbled it getting out of her glove.
Yeah, made a break the wrong way. Able to keep it in front of her, to her credit, but unable to. No play there, as that'll drive in another run and make it a 7-0 ball game.
And here is Olivia Hemmerly, who walked and scored her first time up earlier this inning. She takes a strike. Second error committed in the game by Collinsville. As Viliff is ready to go back to work, and a high pop fly. Calling for it is Keegan Edwards in foul territory, and she makes it for the out, and that will end the inning. And 7 runs come across the plate on 4 base hits, for Belleville East, and they have a 7-0 lead as we head to the top of the second inning, which we'll tell you all about when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you. We have reached the top of the second here. Collinsville will get their second at bat. It'll be Carson Moe, Jazz Gomez, and Lacey Vieluff to bat here in the second inning for Collinsville.
Get you the stats on Mode here in just a moment as everybody heads out to their spots here for this top of the second.
259 on the year for Mode, 11 runs batted in. And Olivia Hemmerly had a little bit of a long wait there in the first inning, although she did get to have an at-bat. Matter of fact, I think she was on deck.
No, she got to bat. She had 2 plate appearances, didn't she?
Oh, that's right. She was the one who reached on the air. Right. Mode looking for something to drive here. Get Collinsville back into this ball game, down 7-0. 7 runs on 4 hits and a couple of errors in that bottom of the first for Collinsville. 4 walks as well. That one is inside.
2-1.
Carson Mode. Parents are here taking in this game. And a swing and a miss by Carson.
Be 2-2. Of course, Dan, one of our sponsors, been on board with us for quite a while now.
Yes, he has. And a foul ball back to the screen. Of course, his brother, John, is the athletic director at Granite City.
Or was.
Was? Not anymore?
I thought John retired. Or is he still there? I think he's still there. Never mind.
Still there.
Yeah, that's definitely Granite City name of the past. Very good athlete in his own right. Back in the late 80s, early 90s was John. And
another foul by Mode. She's staying alive up there.
Of course, 2 older brothers, Brant and Trent, both Collinsville graduates.
Played baseball.
Yep, both of them did, I think. And
a swing and a miss, and Mode did a nice job keeping up there with a couple of foul-offs, but she ends up succumbing to another strikeout here. That is the 3rd strikeout for Hemmerly in this game, and here comes Jazz Gomez. Gomez on the year, batting 167 with a couple of runs batted in. She just really started playing a lot coming on lately toward the end of the season.
A couple of injuries resulted in some shuffling positions and allowed Jazz to get some more playing time for the junior.
And a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lacey Vieluff, the second baseman, on deck for Collinsville. Next pitch from Hemmerly, swing and a miss there by Gomez. And she's in a 1-2 hole. Hemmerly ready to pitch again. And a swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts for Hemmerly. That is her 4th strikeout, 2 outs here in this top of the first inning, and it's up to Lacey Vieluff, the second baseman, to see if she can keep this inning going. 179 on the year is her batting average with 5 runs batted in. And that one is right down the middle, but a little low. Ball 1. This is the only game here this afternoon, the second game of this regional semifinal slate is between Belleville West and Granite City. That is at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon.
And over on the other side of the bracket, you got the Edwardsville Regional going on. They've got both semifinals today. Edwardsville taking on Alton as we speak, I would think.
I would think so, too. This one's high and outside. 2-1 the count to Lacey Vieluf with Brittany Sargensen, the right fielder, waiting on deck. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. Well, that'll even things out at 2-2.
Yeah, just, Kahok's going up there swinging, which is, what you want.
Yeah, she said they wanted to be aggressive. And that one is offered at, but a ball outside off of the glove of Peters. So full count to Lacey Vieluf. Collinsville has had one base runner. Presley Thomas led this game off with a triple and was stranded. She was over there with nobody out and a couple of back-to-back strikeouts and then a ground out. Ended any hope Collinsville had. Here is Kramkowski calling for it. She'll take it for out number 3, and that is a end to inning, or top of the second anyway, not inning number 2. Inning number 2 will come to an end after Belleville East will come to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning, and we will tell you all about that endeavor when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Todd Dukes and Zach Roseman back with you from Belleville West as we have a pitching change that we have to tell you about as a straight swap for Allie Vieluf and Lily Parlberg. So Parlberg will come in and pitch, and Vieluf will go out and play left field for Parlberg. This is her 18th appearance on the year. She has started 3 games this year. She is 1-4 with a 12.08 earned run average. She has struck out 32 and walked 37 on the year. So Parlberg will take over the pitching duties for Vieluf. And she'll face the middle of the order here for Belleville East. It'll be Addie Kramkowski, Ella Murphy, and Sierra Jones here for Belleville East. And Addie Kramkowski just hit an inside-the-park home run in her first and only at-bat. That's all she did.
Yeah, able to get a pretty good piece of it. Got it out there.
It was barely fair, too.
Yeah.
And then it just hit the ground and kept rolling to that. It slants over there down beyond the first base line over in foul territory, and that slant let that ball roll all the way down into the corner where the home team bullpen is. And once it did that, Kramkowski got on her horse, and she was gone.
Yeah, relatively young Belleville East team. Kramkowski just a sophomore, Monroe a sophomore, Hemmerly a senior, but fair amount of youth on this Belleville East team, which, just kind of builds for the future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that you when you've had as much success, having not had a season in 40 years. So
yeah.
It's been a lot of Belleville East and Edwardsville over the past.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the roster turnover. Their fundamentals are all still the same.
Yep, pretty much since when did Coach Blade start at Edwardsville? About 2005, so 20 years. And it's been, more often than not, it's been one of those two is the team that winds up making it the farthest out of our little quadrant here as Kramkowski will reach on the walk.
And, I put that one in the wrong spot there, didn't I?
I'll bring up Murphy.
Murphy tripled and scored her first time up. There's a stolen base. Throw was a little bit late. And that is the third stolen base on the afternoon for Belleville East. There is Ella Murphy. Already ahead in the count 1-0 and make it 2-0. That ball gets away. And another wild pitch for Collinsville will send Kramkowski over to third base. Keep on writing it down on there, Ella Murphy. And it's Parlberg's ready with the 2-0. Here it comes. Swinging a shot down the third baseline. Watch out there, Coach Smith and Joe Munoz.
Hop the fence. Yeah. Hit it hard,
well, if they weren't awake, they are now.
Yep, hit it hard, but foul. And got out there pretty quick as get that ball in. The 2-1 count here to Murphy.
Ella Murphy. Next pitch from Parlberg is another foul ball. This one a little bit softer than the last one, as it just kind of rolls toward the Kahok dugout down the third baseline.
Nice and expansive. Big dugouts here.
Yeah. Parlberg's ready with the next pitch. Here it comes, and that one bounces in front of home plate. That'll put the count full, 3-2. Kramkowski down at third. Another run just 60 feet away here for Belleville East. And the next pitch to Murphy, it hits her. And she will go down to first base. And that'll bring up Sierra Jones. Singled and scored her first time up.
Sierra Jones.
First and third as the umpire. Okay. They're going to have
somebody sitting with their legs out onto the turf, and you can't have that.
Yeah, I guess that's considered in the field of play.
Yep.
So Coach Flowers will have her move, and
yeah, Coach Flowers is going to have to go. I thought they were trying to tell Coach Flowers she couldn't be out there either. They did.
Okay.
So she's going back in the dugout as well.
All right.
First pitch to Jones, a bunt, and it's foul. Well, especially after that screaming foul line drive down there, you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
No, and yeah, if you get a pop fly over that direction, you don't want,
Don't want to be in the way.
All right.
You'll get plowed over. Jones steps back in there. 0-1 the count to her. Parlberg with the runner, first and third in on the corners. And it's going to go, and not going to be able to do anything with it is Keegan Edwards. That was probably a ball that Lucenhide should have had.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the application of the rule, probably. But I thought it hit her bat twice, like it dropped and then her bat hit the ball again, which I didn't think was allowed, but probably just seeing things. Anyway.
Bunt, base hit, and there's a shot toward second base, and up with it, and in time for the out is Lacey Vieliff. Another run does come across, though, and that'll make it 9-0 in favor of Belleville East. All the way down to third on the play is Sierra Jones. And that brings up Marisa Brigham, who walked and scored her first time up. Jones is at third, one out in the inning. Brigham up to the plate with Ari Kohler waiting on deck. And the pitch is a little low. I think it bounced up the home plate, didn't it?
Yeah, that's been Parlberg's miss, which I guess if you're gonna miss anywhere, I think low's as good a spot as any.
As long as you got a catcher that can block it, you're all right. That one goes outside, and Lucenhide does a nice job to stop it enough where it doesn't go back behind her. And staying at third base is Sierra Jones. So Kaylee Nichols 0 for 2 on the afternoon, 2 ground outs for her. So Brigham trying to see if she can score Jones from third. Nice stop there again by Lucenhide, but Parlberg is now in a 3-1 count against Brigham. And the next pitch, also outside, walked her.
I'll put runners at the corners again. 2
walks now for Parlberg since she came into the game. Lacey Vieliff gave up 4 walks in her one inning of work. And here is Ari Kohler. Kohler also grounded out to Lacey Viliff. That was the second out of the first inning. And with runners at first and third, and a square around to bunt, take it back, throw down, and back in safely over there is Jones.
Bergman able to move up to second on the play. I guess that's defensive indifference.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's not a stolen base, I wouldn't say, but not an error or anything.
Nope, it's not. Next pitch is outside. Lucenhyde is getting better at blocking balls, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's it's good experience for the freshman. No, she's also played. I think she's also played third base a game or two for Collinsville.
That one is just a little high, right down the middle, but just a little high.
2-1 now.
And the next delivery is smashed down first, and up with it is Edwards. She steps on first for the out, but Jones comes in to score, and there are two away.
Center fielder number 1, Abby Monroe.
3 unassisted.
For the second out, and back to the top of the order, and Abby Monroe, who has been on base twice. Both of those times came in the first inning. Singled and scored, and then walked and was stranded at second. That ball gets behind Lucenhyde, but takes another nice bounce off the padding behind home plate and comes right back to her. So staying put at third base was Brueggemann. And Parlberg pitches, swinging a high fly ball. Center fielder Jazz Gomez is on the move and has it for out number 3, and the inning comes to a close. But Belleville East scores 3 more times, and they now lead by a score of 10-0 as we bring you the top of the third inning after we take a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Belleville West High School. We have reached the top of the third inning. And a 10-0 lead by Belleville East. And the only two Cahoks that haven't batted yet, Brittany Sargentson and Peyton Lucenhyde, will get to bat here in this top of the third inning. Then back to the top of the order, and Presley Thomas. And there's a swing and a miss by Sargentson. Sargentson comes in batting .240 with 4 runs batted in on the year.
Well, it looks like, I guess in the newer, we got 2 copies of our lineup card. No, that's Audrey Shemwell down there in the on-deck circle.
Really?
So it looks like she's going to be the designated player and bat for Lucenhyde, I guess.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's Shemwell down there. We'll figure it out here. And down on strikes is Sargentson.
Yeah, we do have 2 different ones up here because they didn't have a flex player on the first lineup card that was brought over to us, and then the second one came up a little bit later, and Lucenhyde is the flex player now. So this is Aubrey Shimwell.
Number 9, Aubrey Shimwell.
Shimwell comes in batting .200 with 6 runs batted in, and she turns around to bunt. I wasn't even paying attention to Sargentson. What happened?
Strikeout.
Strikeout.
Swinging
okay.
strikeout. And then
I was looking at the same things. I was like, wait a minute, what happened up here? I didn't realize it was different. They just came in and handed it to us, and I'm like thinking I already got one, so okay.
Well,
now we know why they handed us a second one.
Yep. Shemwell, a junior, one of the 4 juniors on the roster this year.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Shimwell.
5 in a row.
That is in a row. No,
No.
Vila popped out to end the last inning, but it is 6 strikeouts now though for Himmerly.
Shortstop, number 5.
Back to the top of the order, Presley Thomas has the only base hit on the afternoon for Collinsville. She led off this game with a triple, and then was stranded over at third base as Vila Parlberg struck out and Edwards grounded out, all while Thomas was standing down at third base. See what she can do at this at bat. Next pitch from Hemmerly, swing and a miss, and down in an 0-2 hole is Presley Thomas.
O2 pitch. Able to get a piece of it is Thomas that time. Yeah, I mentioned a very young Collinsville team, only two, because Sargenson's a senior. So 2 of the starters in today's game graduating.
Yep. And a foul ball back to the screen off of the bat of Presley Thomas.
So
Thomas, one of those freshmen.
Yep.
Along with Lacey Vila.
And that's
Lucenhide is also a freshman.
Lucenhide, and then Addie Franklin's gotten a little bit of time in the circle this year. So
struck out the side, did Hemmerly, a 1-2-3 inning, and for Hemmerly, 7 strikeouts on the afternoon, and Collinsville goes down in order for the second inning in a row. That'll take us to the home half of the third inning. Belleville East will come to the plate once again. We'll tell you all about it next on the Kahok Sports Network.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is one of the area's longest-running VFW posts. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is your place to meet and join other area veterans. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville offers all kinds of activities to help our veterans, as well as engaging the public with fun, food, fellowship, and a great time for great causes. Blood drives, fundraisers, raffles, and a Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville has event space for your parties, celebrations, and other get-togethers. For more information, check out the VFW Post 1117's Facebook page or call the Caseyville VFW at 618-344-9878.
It'll be the pitcher, Olivia Hemmerly, leading things off here against Lily Parlberg. As we get underway here in the bottom half of the third inning, Hemmerly walked and scored and reached on an error. She got to bat twice in that first inning. The lefty digs in. Parlberg pitches, and that one's outside as well.
Yeah, bat left, throw right.
Yeah.
Probably more common in softball with the slap hitting advantation, which Belleville East have a handful of girls who go with that offensive style.
Hemmerly, the senior, awaits the next, and that one's outside as well. So 3 straight, out of the strike zone. And Parlberg, who already has a couple of walks herself, is ready to pitch, and all 4 were outside.
And looks like we're going to have a change here. Coach Peters heading down to talk to the umpire.
9, Zoe Peters.
Courtesy runner will be a younger Hemmerly, Macy.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a younger sister or not, but
I would assume.
And Macy Hemmerly, a freshman running for Olivia Hemmerly, who, as you just said, is a senior.
Zoe Peters comes up to the plate. She also batted twice in that first inning. She walked and scored, and then popped up to Keegan Edwards to end the inning. And the first pitch to her is
strike.
I don't know. It looked pretty good. I never did see anything, so I guess it's a ball. He never did lift up his arm.
Okay, ball 1, and then a stolen base for the younger Hemmerly.
4th stolen base on the afternoon for the Lancers. And a 1-0 count to Zoe Peters, the catcher for the Lancers. Parlberg ready to rock back and forth, and she pitches. That one stays high, and the young Himmerly dancing around a little bit out there at second base. She was about a quarter of the way down the line toward third. 2-0, though, the count to Zoe Peters. And the pitch to Peters. That one is in there. No?
No.
I hear him grunting something, but I
Yeah,
never know what it is.
I heard ball, and I'm just not sure where exactly that missed.
Neither am I. Looked pretty good from up here. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4. And ball gets away a little bit from Lucenhide, so
Shortstop, number
down
2.
to third will go Himmerly, and Peters is on with back-to-back walks.
Abby Brewer again in as a courtesy runner.
And Eddie Kramkowski will come up to the plate. Kramkowski inside the park home run in the first inning, walked and scored in the second. Parlberg pitches. Strike called. Throw down to third base, and back in there in time is Himmerly, and on the throw, Peters ends up going down to second. So runners in scoring position now for Kramkowski. And Parlberg pitches, swinging a high pop fly. Backing up is Vielef, and she has it in the outfield grass. And we'll get the ball back in with no movement on the base paths.
Yeah, nice. Not the easiest play in the world there.
Nope.
Lacey able to do a
Ella Murphy.
solid job ranging back, and first out of the inning, and then we'll move the lineup down to Murphy.
Murphy has tripled and scored, and she was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3-run second inning, and that one almost hit her. She didn't even move.
No, Parlberg, not a ton of velocity.
No.
Sure, if it's Veal throws it a bit harder. If it was coming from Alley, it might have prompted a bit more movement. But that's part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to get hit every once in a while.
And that one bounces and then hits her, so bases loaded.
Well,
Third baseman, number 27, Sierra Jones.
That'll bring up Sierra Jones. Jones has singled twice and scored twice. Bases loaded for her. Jones coming in with 13 runs batted in. Got an opportunity to add to that here today. And that pitch goes high. Ball 1, nowhere to put her.
yep, just something in play, right?
Yeah.
You just pitch to contact. Let your fielders make a play for you.
And swinging a foul ball out of play.
Into the screen here. It's a solid facility here at Belleville West. The turf, relatively new addition.
Yeah.
Within, was it last year, I think, they put the turf in?
I'm not really sure when that happened. There's a little floater. That's a Texas League blooper and a nice running catch by Allie Vielef. And a nice throw into home plate as well. That chased Himmerly all the way back to third base. That was a beautiful throw in after that catch.
Yeah, charge in pretty hard to make the catch. And, yeah, nice play out there by Allie. First ball really hit to her, and then we'll move the line down for Nichols.
Yep, Kaylee Nichols has grounded out twice in this game. Collinsville would like it if she does it again. And that one hits her, so that didn't happen. That ball bounced off the turf and hit her, and she'll get a free RBI out of that.
That'll make it
Left fielder, number
an 11-0
43,
game.
Grace Brigham.
And bring up Brueggemann.
And Brueggemann has walked twice herself, scored once, was stranded at third on the last try. As Parlberg pitches to the left-hander. If she was on the right side, that probably would have bounced and hit her.
Maybe. Solid block there from Lucenhide,
Yeah.
though.
Parlberg a little short and a little too far to her right on a lot of these pitches. There's a swing and a foul ball that stays at the home plate area before it spins away from Lucenhide.
And to the dirt-colored turf.
Dirt-colored turf.
Yeah, it's a very, very natural color if you can ignore the darker patches where it's been used a bit more.
Swinging a shot right back up the middle. That's going to be picked up by Jazz Gomez. 2 runs are going to score. Throw comes into the pitcher circle to Keegan Edwards. And it is a 13-0 contest now in favor of Belleville East.
Number 10, Ari
Yeah,
Fuller.
2-run single there for Brueggemann.
First and third.
Yeah.
6th hit of the afternoon for Belleville East. Ari Kohler has also made 2 outs today. She's grounded out and popped up. Brueggemann up the middle it goes, or excuse me, Kohler, and out at second base, so the run is not going to score. That was kind of a bang-bang play there where the ball went right to, who did that go to? Short?
Yeah, so
Presley Thomas.
So 6 unassisted on
Yeah.
the fielder's choice. All right.
Yeah. Wow. You don't really see that a lot, do you?
Not like that anyway.
No, 13-0 as we move things to the top of the 4th inning, and we'll be back to tell you all about the top of the 4th inning when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahawk Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
Allie Wiedeluff leads off here in the top of the 4th inning for Collinsville. And looks at one a little bit high down the middle. First one was low. Second one she swung at and missed, so it is a 2-1 count now to Allie Wiedeluff, who got caught looking at a third strike in her only other at bat. Wiedeluff, Parlberg, and Edwards, the 2, 3, and 4 batters here for Collinsville in the 4th inning. And that one outside. 3-1 the count.
Hey, anyway on, right?
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Gotta-
Collinsville trailing 13-0 right now, and that one is ball 4, so you'll take a base runner, and Wiedeluff will be on base for the first time here this afternoon, and Lily Parlberg, who struck out swinging her first time up, will come to the plate. And the pitch by Hemmerly on the way, swinging a foul ball back to the screen. Allie Wiedeluff on the year, 10 stolen bases, been caught once. So she's not afraid to run.
Nope. This Kahawk team with a fairly balanced amount of speed. Of course, the leader, Faye Fairchild, fortunately out after some injury.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she's going to get caught off first base, and that's an out.
Thought maybe she was able to get under the tag, but the umpire was closer than I am. Nice back pick there from Peters to
Brewer. Goes 2-3 on the caught stealing, which is basically what that was. And now, no runners on, and Parlberg takes a pitch high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the Kahawk now pitcher. Started off playing in left field. Here's the pitch by Hemmerly. That one's in there for a called strike 3.
First baseman,
2 away.
Keegan Edwards.
8th strikeout on the afternoon here for Hemmerly, and here is Keegan Edwards, who grounded out to the shortstop Addie Kramkowski in her only at bat.
Hemmerly will step off as Edwards might have called time. Look over to Coach Flowers for the sign.
And the pitch swinging a foul ball back to the screen.
Moving right along here.
Boys volleyball game, about 8 minutes or so from getting underway. can check that one out. I forgot to provide the link on the Facebook page today.
Yeah, Belleville East Athletics on YouTube. Friend of the network, Steven Stock, doing that one. See how the Kahoks are able to do in the volleyball front against the Lancers as Edwards hits it very high.
And a catch behind home plate over by our own dugout made by Zoe Peters, and Collinsville, after a leadoff walk but a caught stealing, will go down 1-2-3 once again after that pop-up in foul territory by Edwards. To end the inning, we have moved along to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Belleville East will come up to the plate next, and we will tell you all about it when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for something to get your high school student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahok Trap on Facebook. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878.
Abby Monroe leads things off here for Belleville East with a foul down the third baseline, as Ali Vileff is back in the circle and Lily Parlberg is back in left field. There's a swing and a line drive out to Jazz Gomez. She came in too soon and then had to leap up a little bit, and that ball ticked off of her glove. And all the way over to third base is going to be Monroe.
I mean, I guess it hit Jazz's glove.
Yeah, it's got to be an error.
Yeah, three-base error, unfortunately.
Olivia Himmerly.
That'll put the de facto winning run on at the plate with the 15-run mercy rule that's in place after 4 innings.
That would be Olivia Hemmerly, who has walked twice, reached on an error, scored twice.
So 0 for 1 today, technically?
Technically.
Yeah.
Or no, an error doesn't count as a bat either, does it?
An error does.
Does it really?
Yeah. Yeah, so 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored.
Yeah.
And working on a one-hitter in the circle.
Yep. And another ball, and that is 3-0 now, the count to the opposing pitcher, Olivia Hemmerly. Zoe Peters, the catcher, waits on deck. Down at third base is Abby Monroe. And the pitch by Vileff is outside, and another walk, and we have runners on the corners with no one out for Zoe Peters. Peters has walked twice and popped up to the first baseman, Keegan Edwards, in between those 2 walks.
Well, the least, I'm sure they'll probably have somebody here tomorrow for the game between West and. We have a change here. The younger Hemmerly.
Yeah, the younger Hemmerly comes back in as a courtesy runner.
In a run again.
Yep.
Okay.
So Peters steps up to the plate, and a foul ball down the third baseline. So she has a chance to walk this game off, depending on what kind of a hit she could get if she connects with one.
Yep, anything. 15 runs after 4 full innings as the mercy rule. It's been put in place by and again, another nice bounce, but that'll allow Macy Hemmerly to advance up to second. That's helped Loosen Hyde out a few times. It's pretty, I assume it's a relatively flat surface. So.
Yeah, and it's not very far behind her either. It's not like the one at Fletcher Field where it's like a big ways behind. That one gets in between her legs and will roll all the way back to the fence, and that will allow Abby Monroe to score. And all the way down to third base with the potential game-ending run is the younger Hemmerly, Macy. And it is a 2-0 count to Zoe Peters. And the pitch from Veliff is a little bit too high, 3-0. Or excuse me, 3-1. Foul ball off the bat of Peters earlier. And Veliff pitches, swinging a little blooper. That one's going to go off of the glove of the shortstop, Presley Thomas, and that is going to end the game 15-0 in favor of Belleville East as the costly error brings in the run that wins it all for the Lady Lancers. And that is going to send us to the post-game show, brought to you today by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible with high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online at chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
And we will welcome you back here to Belleville West High School, a game that took 1 hour and 10 minutes to complete due to the 15-run rule. Collinsville ends up losing 15-0. Their season comes to a close, and they'll finish their year at 8-19. Belleville East, they will continue. They improve to 25-8, and they will await the winner of tomorrow's contest between, where'd my thing go? Okay, well, sorry, I had you turned down.
Belleville West and Granite City.
Yeah, Belleville West and Granite City. All right, so things didn't go very well for the Cahoks here today. They only got one hit, no runs on one hit. They committed 4 errors, and they left one base runner on base. Belleville East, 15 runs on 6 hits. They committed no errors, and they left 6 base runners on base. It was a 7-run first inning, and then 3 more in the second and the third, and then the 2 that ended the game. In the fourth inning, there was 1 home run in this game. That was an Addie Kramkowski inside the park home run that scored a couple runners. So she got a 3 RBI inside the park home run. Too many walks for Collinsville. They ended up giving up 8 walks on the day, plus the 4 errors and a couple of hit batters. So only 6 hits is all Belleville East needed. The rest of the base runners were provided by Collinsville in other ways, shapes, or forms. But as we were talking off the air there, Zach Roseman, it was an improvement over last year. You got 8 wins this year compared to 6 last year and 6 the year before that. And you got a good eighth grade team who had a fantastic year over at the middle school coming up as freshmen next year. So the future not looking too bad. You just got to have the consistency there with the coaching staff and get everybody on the same page, work on the fundamentals, and you never can tell what's going to happen. We were talking, when Rita Menke first took over at Belleville East, she didn't have great first 3 years, but they stuck with her, and eventually it all paid off.
Yeah, I mean, just got to take time to do things the right way. And, it's just obviously first-year coach, a little bit of an adjustment. And while there are definitely some things to work on for next year, I think there are definitely some positives that can be taken from the year as well. Obviously, 8-19, not a great record, losing in the first round, but it's a start, right?
Yep, it's a start.
It's 1 year. Like we said, there are some things to look forward to in the future for Kahok softball, and stay the course. And I don't know what exactly the rest of the conference is looking like for their outlook over the next few years. I know this Belleville East team is fairly young, but you figure the usual powers would be the usual powers, but I have cautiously optimistic for the future for Kahok softball.
All right, that is going to do it for us here this afternoon. Don't forget, if you want to check out the boys volleyball game, you can do that right now on the Belleville East Athletics YouTube channel. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Myself and Chris Keller will be. We'll be at O'Fallon at Blazer Field there over by the high school as we get the baseball playoffs underway. Collinsville taking on Belleville East tomorrow. 4 p.m. is scheduled first pitch, so we'll be on the air around 3:30 with the pregame show. A big thank you to Amy Flowers for joining us on the pregame interview here for this one. Another big thank you to Zach Roseman over on the other microphone. My name is Todd Duke, and until tomorrow, everyone enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.